Alright guys, so today we're back on with the Mini Maxi. Just a bit of a recap. Last episode I unseized it, got it running but not very well. It seems like there's maybe a problem with the flywheel clattering against the coils or some such. I'll have to work it out. We had a look in here and found out that it contained a battery, and it's probably aftermarket but could have been fitted sort of, from the factory, but it's basically to power the indicators, which also aren't fitted because there wasn't enough power basically just from running the mag set. I've also got issues with the carb. It definitely needs cleaning. I don't think it's original. I think it would have had a different style of intake on it. The top end gasket is not very well, and the fuel tap is not working because it's broken basically. There's also tinware missing and stuff like that. So first job today I think is going to sort out the fuel system. I'm going to start the tank, see what we can do about a tap. So I'm going to undo these two 10mm nuts either side of here, and I think that's all that's holding the tank on. So then I should be able to have a quick look inside. I'll finish my fag first though before I start playing about with petrol. Right, so that's this seat support bar out, which means that I've been able to get the engine means I've been able to get the tank out. Here's the sticker on it. Basically make sure that you're not running straight fuel. So 2 bolts and that was out. Here's the tank. It's not good news, I'm afraid. First of all, undo it. It's not that bad in there. The seal's gone on the lid though, unfortunately, so I'm going to have to try and sort another one of those. I mean, let me get the light on my phone and we'll have a look. Right, here we are again for another attempt. I mean, it's not actually that bad, is it? The problem, and the reason that this tank is such bad news, and the reason it was leaking fuel all over my car, other than the seal, is this unfortunate situation. Now, I thought it was held on with JB Weld or something. Oh no, that's blue tack. Someone has blue tacked a different petcock in, so this is not good. Hopefully it's just because they didn't have the right one, maybe? I don't know. Hopefully once all that's removed I'll be able to sort of screw a proper one in. I may end up doing something. I doubt I'll be able to get another tank for this, so I'm going to have to see if I can get a threaded nut welded on or something so that I can screw the correct petcock in. Nightmareage. I don't know how much that's leaking and all the rest of it, so I might just pretty much leave the nut in for now and just try and put a new petcock in. That's probably the best bet. It seems to be held on with some sort of epoxy crap, so hopefully that'll do the job for a bit until I can find another solution. Carcoma, whoever they are. Right, I've not seen one like that before, so I assume there was a gauze over this, which is still stuck in here, annoyingly. So I'm probably going to find an old petcock and see if I can swap out the actual tap part. Rather annoyingly, that doesn't quite fit on there, but I reckon I can file that out slightly and get it to fit. Probably also have to take this nut off it. Okay, so there's the insides of that one. And there's that one. Okay. Right, I'm going to try and file that down. Right, if I can file that down, that one should fit on there. Otherwise, I'll have to swap the whole internals out. The other problem is that I'm not sure if that would fit on there. Is it the same thread? So the nut is compatible, so I can swap these over. All this for a petcock. But that's wobbly. Success, he said, dropping it. It fits. Now to rebuild the thing. Passages seem okay. I need a pick or something, but I've got this twig. Power strength. A little thing with the detents in it. Keep it in place. A spring. If it'll let me. What's going on here then? Anyway, you get the idea. Right, this is the petcock rebuilt then. This is why I never throw away old petcocks, you see. You can use them to fix other ones. So, although it is slightly disturbing that it seems to be unscrewing this nut, it does work. So, for now, I'm just going to put this back as it was and hope and pray that it's not going to leak. Next up, carb. Put the tank back in. I'm going to have to obviously get a seal for the cap, and this actually lines up correctly, which is good. I think it'll need revisiting though, because I suspect it is still going to leak. So yeah, for now it's done. Meanwhile, we're moving on. He said trying to undo a screw left-handed. Oh god. Going on to the carb anyway, which I've already had off once, but I'm going to take it apart and clean it. I'm going to leave the intake on for now, purely because it's going to be under a tarp for the time being, and I don't want water to get down. Obviously, if there's just a hole here, it's going to be easier for water to get in. So yeah, that's the plan. That's the fuel I put in last week. Not looking too bad, but we need to get to the jet. Is that all one piece? That is a long ass jet. I thought I brought the atomizer out with it, but I haven't. It's a long ass jet and you can't see through it, so unfortunately my air compressor is at the other end of the garden. I've been using the nail gun. this come undone. I don't want to try too hard in case it knackers it. Aha! So it was what would be the atomizer, except it's not an atomizer because there's no holes in it. Somewhat worryingly, the jack doesn't have a size on it, I don't think. Can you see one? There's no size on there, is there? I'm not a big fan of this carb. I do have a backup carb, which I'll show you in a second. So, that back on there. I'll just quickly spray around all the other passages in here, which there aren't many. Float height looks okay. Can't see, can you? Hang on. Yeah. Focus. Twat bag. Ha. Yeah, float height looks okay. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be easy just to whip this carb off and clean it if I need to. So I'm not going to faff about with the float height or anything, or clean the needle. But I will have a quick look in here, because if there's a fuel gauze, that might need cleaning. It's just a 12mm nut, this one, or 12mm bolt. And I think that does need a bit of a blast out, to be fair. So I'm just filling this aperture here where the fuel goes in up with carb cleaner, and it's staying there, and then I let go of the float and it's all draining out. So the float's seating correctly, at least, or it would appear to be. I mean, a better test would be to do it with it by turning it the wrong way up, because that'll give obviously me pressing on it, I'm putting extra pressure on. Right, so let's put it back together. Another problem I'm having here is the float bowl gasket has split. Now, the thing with this is, it's a rubber gasket and it's sort of puffed up, so I've got the ends together and it should more or less seal, but because it's puffed up it's now too long, and that's because of the ethanol in fuel, basically. So I'm going to rebuild the carb and try it. If it doesn't work, there's a carb on this, where are you? There's a carb on this engine which is from the rotten out Maxi that I showed you a couple of weeks ago. So that is the plan. It's from the Snowflake Maxi, which is there. Still looking quite upset with itself. So yeah, I might end up using that, but I shouldn't imagine that'll be particularly easy to salvage either, so maybe a case of buying a new one. Okay, so I've reattached the oil line. Time to put the carb on, and I'm out of time again. My wife will be back in a second, so I better hurry the fuck up before I get in trouble. So it's another day, and I've made a replacement gasket for the, you can't even see that, can you? Replacement gasket for the fuel cap from an old inner tube. I don't know if it'll last in the petrol, because the ethanol might start to dissolve it, but it's worth a go, I suppose, and I can always order one otherwise. Although, I don't know quite where I'd get one from, or what size it is, I'd have to measure it. So I've put a good slug of fuel in there. That's the seal fitted to the cap. Seems sturdy enough. So I'm going to call the fuel system done now. We're going to go onto the throttle cable, I think. Okay, so I've got this little, sorry the lighting's terrible today, little inline cable adjuster thing that I stole off one of the kids' old bikes, and I was going to put it in line with that, but it looks like this is actually adjustable. So if I wind that out, like so, and then wind that nut down to meet it, it sort of, in effect, lengthens the cable. I don't know if it'll be enough, but I'm going to try it. Okay, we're about what I would call maximum adjustment there, I would say. You can see by the shiny threads how far down I've gone. I'm not sure if that'll be enough, but I'll give it a go anyway, because I want to start the thing again. Okay, so there is still a bit of slop in this, but I'm not sure how well the mechanism's working because it feels a bit notchy, so it might be worth taking this apart. For now we're going to run with it because I'm mainly going to start it to test the fuel system. So the next job is attach the fuel hose to the carb, preferably with a inline filter, which I don't have, and then have a go at kicking it over. Right, I've no idea how much of this you can see, but this is first start, take 2. And I don't know how to shut it off. Even the choke doesn't work to shut it off. I guess that's how you do it. She's steaming. I wonder what it's got for transmission oil. I wonder if that might be the cause of the problem. You can't really see the smoke on there, can you? But it's definitely smoking. Let's try it. Right, I've no idea if this is going to be off camera or what, but we're going on a voyage of discovery now. Let's get the Stella glass ready. Oh yes. Someone's filled it with Baileys. So there's obviously been some water ingress here. I think we'll leave that to drain for a bit. It's not amazingly nice, is it? Delish. So there's the end result. 2 shots of Baileys. I'm going to flush it out with some engine oil. You can't really see it over there, but it's the stuff you use for Garelli clutches, 20 weight non-detergent. It's expensive stuff actually, but it's all I had to hand. So I'm going to flush it out with that and then put the proper stuff in. Can I do this one-handed? Not really. Right, the oil's in. Let's start her real quick and see if she sounds any better with some actual oil in there. It kicks up really well. Still sounds terrible. I'm going to let it run for a bit so that new oil heats up a bit and moves around. And I'll probably have a quick look in the mag cover and see what's going on. See if that's the source of the terrible noise. So I think it might be rubbing a little bit in there, but it sounds more like it's coming from up here. But I can't... Nothing seems to stop it. Which is quite strange. Anyway, I'm going to take this opportunity to check the oil pump. It should theoretically be pulsing out of there. I can't see anything, but then of works, which is okay because I'm running it on 2-stroke mix anyway at the moment, but it's still not ideal. So I've reattached the oil line purely because it's stopping the air leak basically, but I think I'm going to get rid of the oil injection, delete it entirely, because if you can't trust it, you don't want to seize while you're out and about, and most of my bikes run premix anyway, so it's not going to be any real hardship. So yeah, it'll need a new intake on it without the little nub on it for the pipe to go on. It would of course be a different story if it injected it into the crankcase. I'd have to fix it then because it would be individually lubricating various bits in there, but since it's not, then it does the same job as just premix really. Let's see how we're doing for this oil now it's warmed up a bit. Going the wrong way. So, as you can see, it's mixed with all the other oil in there and gone that gorgeous colour again, but once that's all drained out we should pretty much be free of all the moisture that's in there. Anything left in there will probably evaporate off anyway. I might give it another squirt through with a bit more of that. Actually, I'm beginning to wish that I'd brought a rag with me for this job. So I'm going to call that done, put this back in, and then give it a dose of the proper stuff. Right, I'm going to go clean myself up and sort everything out. Okay, so I'm going to fill it up now with the correct stuff. This is actually cheaper than just using ATF, especially in Britain, because Type F and Type A and all that don't really seem to exist over here. I think this was £3 for this bottle. It's not very big, I mean, you know, but only need 170 mils, so we should be fine. In fact, we're not far off a whole bottle there, are we, with 170? Hey ho. So I think we're going to leave it here now. So I still haven't tracked down that noise. I'm going to have to work on that. It might be, it's not like loose head or anything stupid like that. Seems fairly sturdy though, and it is torqued up. So yeah, we've done the fuel system at least. We've got some fuel in it. We've determined that this fuel pump doesn't work, and we've not found the leak. So I think next one we'll probably take that off maybe, or put a new intake on it if I can find one. I don't know what we'll do next time. Let's find out. It depends what I can do next time. So we've got no choke. Let's see how well it starts. Oh, that's something we need to do next time. Sort out the start-stop switch. It's not bad, despite the horrible noise. I just want to get that noise sorted so we can do a first ride. Sound disturbingly like it might be coming from in the transmission. Oh well, thanks for watching guys. God, I turned the petcock off when I finished filming the last video, which was nearly 10 minutes ago now. It's still just running on what's in the float bowl. I've been revving it to keep it lubricated. But yeah, it must be pretty frugal. Nearly, we're going. my god. I'll balance you there. That brake works. I think the petcock works too, but it's not doing as yet. I'm definitely going to have to sort out the stop button, aren't I? That's how you do it. Ta-ra.